Hey guys, Anthony, 4x4 Diesel. I know the last video was probably pretty boring and, we don't mind if it's boring every now and then, but we've progressed. We've got the new injectors in, the return line. You can see we've got the big fat bolts. Some people know what I mean. We didn't have the little ones in stock. This happens. It's not a problem. We've just talked about that upgrade that's possible. And I just want to show you quickly a bit of cleaning down there. How much better does that look? Of course, you got the black staining. No point worrying about that, but I just want to show you a picture of what it looks like. Right, I mean, a lot of that build-up was against that back wall there. It's making it look worse than what it is. This is part of a normal EGR clean. So when we say EGR clean, you might think you're just getting the EGR valve up the top cleaned, and oh, that sounds expensive. No, it's all those components come off, get cleaned, including spending time down there with special long spoons, pulling all that mess out of the manifold and vacuuming it out, all that sort of thing. So look at that, beautiful. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and get inside around, inside out, back to front, and have a bit of a look for my own inspection and for you, so you can sort of see, what it looks like, right, up in there. So you got a bit of an idea. Right, so what I'd say is, regardless of what you see there, there's nothing in there creating any restriction. The surfaces aren't flat, they're a bit lumpy in there, generally some flat areas. But you'll just see the volcano, it's just the surface. It's really not going to make any performance difference to the vehicle whatsoever. So it's your call. As I always say, if you're doing your own job, if you're doing your injector replacement job, following our guides on how to do it on our VIP group using those videos, then it's only your own time to say, well, you maybe, a lot of people do the BFE at the same time. They've got the hoses off, the coolant off, the timer. All this is off, so they take the EGR cooler off, and then they can clean that out as well. You can actually, if you're getting an injector kit from me and you watch this video, you can actually say, and can I also please have the 2 extra EGR cooler gaskets? And that's for, if you're going to clean out this cooler, which you don't normally do, it's if you've got a P0400 and you know everything else is right, then you may need to clean this out. And these are the 2 gaskets here, right? So you can buy those, or you can, from Toyota, just say I need on the EGR cooler, there's just those 2 gaskets there, right? So you get it from your local Toyota dealer with your EGR gasket set, or you can get your EGR gasket set from us with your injector kit, or with your BFE kit, either, whatever. If you just want to get started, you're not ready to spend, 2 or 3 grand on injector kits and stuff, your BFE kit, $770 delivered to your door. That's your water pump, timing bell, idler tension, a cam seal, the bearings and all the moving pulleys, all the bearings, the belt, everything that moves on the front of the engine other than an alternator. And we can just add in that. You can say I just want the EGR gaskets, or you might want to add the manifold gasket as well. But if you say just add the EGR gaskets, I don't know, it adds about $50, whatever. And then, so, $825, there you go, $825 delivered to your door. You've got your BFE kit and your EGR ready to do that. You can get your own plate from kaon.com.au if you want to put a plate in down there. And then you can get in the VIP group, have a look at those videos to do the BFE job, and put that together with what you've seen on our YouTube channel. That's all out there for everybody for free. And then you can do your EGR clean. And if what you find from there is, it needs further work, I'd suggest you don't do it. It's for the simple reason you don't do it until you're replacing injectors. So you should only need a EGR gasket set, right? So the gasket that you see sitting there's a gasket there, there's a couple more and another one and a couple more, the one that goes here as well, and the one that goes there you might want, even though you don't need to. Follow the videos and you'll know what you need. Because if you find the manifold caked, then you've got to take the pipes off, which are off now because we're replacing injectors. But if you're doing an EGR clean, and then you go on to you're taking the pipes off, you're risking contamination to your injectors, which isn't worth it. So I'd suggest you don't do the manifold down here until you're doing your injectors, like you don't do the EGR cooler until you're doing your injectors. And if you want to do the EGR cooler at the same time, because you just love it, then that's what you do. You do whatever you want to do. So anyway, we're going to continue on with this, and if there's any other bits of information, did you notice every video we might be working around here doing the same sort of job, but there's different information in each video? So if you thought this one was right, besides hitting the like button, subscribing and turning the bell on, check out our playlist called Injector Information, because there's a whole heap of other videos like this, and it all comes together, all the injector information videos. You watch them all, you'll get really familiar with things, and yeah, you know what? Bada bing, bada done. All right, guys, we'll let you know if there's anything else. Anyway, so yeah, the new valve cover was the decision. You can see, shiny new valve cover there, beautiful. It's just getting lightly nipped up nice and even around all the bolts. And then obviously the torque wrench will go on to give it the magic number 9. But of course we still do that, you know, you got to put these covers on in many passes. And you certainly, as we said in other videos, don't tighten down these corners first. You got to work your way, a bit like a head, you know, a head. You got to work your way out slowly. I like from the middle, side to side, you know, kind of like. And this is same torque procedure, I suppose. You know, you're going to go there, and you can do one. Look, I don't mind if you do 2 at one side, like there and there, or you can go to the other side. That's ideally. And then you can either go to the same side, or you can come across to here. But you know, you're sort of working from the middle outwards. But see how it's not taking much. It's about 1/4 of a turn, right? From, because it's been nipped up by hand in many passes, right? And this is just the final, you know. See, the final 9. Anyway, that's pretty boring. You've seen, we've got all these little, you know, injector videos in the injector information playlist. What's it called, that playlist? Injector information, yeah. We've probably got a BFE playlist, so that's what we want to talk about next. This is a Hilux with the 1-piece water pump, so there's quite a lot of work to change the water pump on a Hilux. But what we've got is a solution so that it's never this hard again. So what's happened this time, as you can see, you know, batteries disconnected, alternators, you know, removing the alternator, you know, just to change a water pump, removing the aircon compressor just to change a water pump. You got to be kidding me. And there's more. Yes, we've got to remove that tensioner right there in the middle of the picture just to replace the water pump, because see how it goes over. See the, how do I show you this, right? That's the tensioner there. That's the water pump there, right? So it's a really dumb design. Now what we do is we supply a 2-piece water pump so that if your water pump ever leaks again, you can quite simply unbolt the bolts at the front here and take the front section of the water pump off without taking off the alternator, the compressor, any of this business, right? And not only is it all this gear at this side, you know, if you get the BFE kit from us, you're in the VIP group and you watch the videos, you'll figure it out. There's a few videos on it. You've got to search around a little bit. There's one main one that you need to watch, but all the little bits and pieces count also. Now, to get that water pump off, normally, again, you just have to undo these bolts here. 6 bolts to get a water pump off, but because it's the big 1-piece water pump, you've actually got to take off the timing belt, you know, this cam gear, you know, the tension idler, this whole plastic backing plate. You've got to take the bolts out of that, remove that off. And before you do anything, guys, this is your tip. You know, you're hanging around, you're watching, you crack this loose, this bit bolt here on the cam. Hey, B2, you listening?
Yes, B1.
You would never forget that, would you? Right?
Still on there.
That's it. So crack that loose before you take the belt off, right? And then obviously the belt comes off, then the backing plate comes off, then gentle tap tap usually, and this little cam gear will come off. It's on a taper, okay, on the end of the camshaft there. I said camshaft. I'm going to say wrong words, camshafts, crankshafts, and whatever. I always do that, you know that. Haven't done that for a while, making those sorts of mistakes. Been making plenty of other mistakes, but anyway. Right, so backing plate comes off, and then you'll see down there what the arrangement is, because in behind there, that's, you know, there's, you know, this timing belt arrangement's in the way of the water pump. But once you put the 2-piece pump that we supply in the BFE kit on the vehicle, whether it's a Prado or Hilux, whether it's a 1KZ or 1KD, we supply the BFE kits for either, all of those options. You just got to let us know in that text message on BFE kit day. BFE kit day, that's Wednesday, isn't it? Wednesday morning from 8 AM, you can text me. I'll send you the order, you pay for it. And in the order that we receive the payments, we pack and send them. You know, so if you're first in, it'll most likely be packed and sent that day, unless you haven't been following our announcements on our Facebook pages, the Prado Hospital and that Prado Hilux 1KD FTV injectors page. You need to follow those announcements, because that's where we will tell you we are taking a break. Guess what? We've worked way too many days, way too many hours, and our brains are fried and we need to have a rest. And this happens a lot. We must work too hard. What do you reckon, B2? It's time for a holiday, isn't it?
Sure is, B1.
All right, so that's the deal. That's why there's a lot more work involved. But once you get it set up with that 1-piece pump, then I suppose if you wanted to, let's say at 150,000 Ks, you could do the BFE. So you do the water pump, the time belt, the cam seal. The cam seal, you don't. If it ain't leak, don't. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. No oil there, no leak, then you don't touch it, right? But if you're doing one of these one-piece water pumps, you've got everything off anyway. Where if you've got the two-piece pump, you're just taking the front off. You do the time belt. You don't actually have to take this gear off to do, you know, unless you're doing the cam seal, right? Because you've got the two-piece pump, so you're only taking the front of the pump off. So you've got options, but so at 150k you might do the whole BFE job, and then let's say when you get to 300,000 k's, maybe, look, you should probably be spending more money, giving it even more love because it's getting older and you want to make sure it's reliable. That's how it works. But if, I don't know, it might get to 450 or 600, you might go, oh, I haven't got the money, or I don't want to waste the money on this old car, but I want to do something. So water pump's leaking. You can just go in there and change the water pump down there, and you don't have to touch the timing belt. And then at 150, you just do the timing belt. Still suggest you do the idler and the tensioner and stuff like that, and the cam seal if it's leaking. Put the cover back on. You can separate the two jobs if you like, and just wait till the water pump leaks. But, you know, we just think that 150,000 k's is a long time, and to replace everything on the front of the engine, all the timing belt, drive belt, bearings, water pump, basically everything with the bearing in it other than the alternator, every 150k, it's just wise to do so. So anyway, that's it. That's a video. Hope you liked it. There you go, buddy. There's that video that you wanted, and we better get back to it because we need to get this job happening. And bada bing, bada boom, we're out of here. If you guys liked the video, hit that like button, subscribe, turn the bell on, and catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.